I am back. I haven't been able to record anything for almost a week because I've just been so busy running everybody around and doing everything. So I haven't gotten a chance. So anyway, I had mentioned that I had my daughter color my hair, right? So I went in last week for my niece to trim it, and since she's new, the manager had to like check the cut afterwards. So she walks over, the manager, to check the cut, and she's like, says to me, "Oh, are you letting your hair color grow out?" What? Talk about making me totally paranoid now. I'm like, no, my daughter just did it. First of all, who cares if what my color is? She was checking how my niece did for the cut. It had nothing to do with the color. So why would you ask, even say, are you letting your color grow out? It had nothing to do with it. It annoyed me so bad. I get annoyed very easily. But this was like, now she's made me paranoid. Does my hair really look like crap? Right? Okay? Because I was thinking it didn't look bad. And now she's telling me, or she asked me something stupid like that. Okay, so she ticked me off. I didn't say anything, of course, except, no, my daughter just did it. Anyway, so I proceed. I don't like human contact a lot. I'm very socially inept. So I always get myself in these weird situations. I go over to the like hair care store because my hair is very dry now, so I had to get some stuff to help with it. And I'm talking to the worker, and she says, well, and I said about, well, I put like purple shampoo conditioner on it every day. Is that okay? And she's like, well, you really shouldn't wash your hair every day. And I'm like, what? I have to wash my hair every day. And I'm saying, no, I have to. Like, I have to wash my hair every day. And she kind of looked at me like, okay. And because I'm thinking to myself, that's something I just have to do. But of course, this means she does not, because she's saying this to me. So she proceeds to like take a piece of her hair and hold it out in front of my face. And she's like, yeah, see, feel my hair, see like how dry it is? At this point, I'm thinking like, okay, I have like a personal space that I don't like people to enter. I don't like people to touch me. I'm really not a hugger. Don't even shake my hand. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But so she's putting her hair like kind of in front of me, and I'm thinking, am I supposed to touch her hair? Like, this is a stranger. She wants me to touch her hair. My hands are dirty because I'm in public, so I always feel like I'm dirty. So I proceed to like, I'm standing there for a second, and she stands there with her hair kind of hung in my face, like this. So I touch her hair, and I for the rest of the conversation, I feel bad, okay, that I have touched a stranger's hair with my like dirty hands that I'm in public with. Okay, I feel bad. And I can't even shake that out of my head. The whole time I'm thinking, I've touched her hair. Like, I've touched her hair. I just made her hair dirty. But I guess she doesn't think of her hair being dirty because she doesn't wash it every day. Whatever. Like I said, I'm so socially awkward and socially inept. I almost think I shouldn't even go out and deal with public or society because I don't know, it's just weird and uncomfortable. Anyway, so a couple things. Last night I was in the kitchen and I was making like a couple different things. I had found this recipe for like this homemade like a spaghetti sauce over penne pasta, and then you grate up fresh cheese. No one else wanted it in the house, but I thought, I want it. I'm hungry for it. So I made this huge pot of it. Really good. There's no meat in it. I'm not a huge meat eater. I will go days without eating meat because it's not something that I really care for. So anyway, so I made that, and then I made this other dish that I took white rice and I put this in like 3 different containers. And I told you, my daughter, I'll pick her up at 3:30, and then she has to go to work by 4. And she's always eating fast food or grabbing, just quick drive-throughs, unhealthy crap. So I'm gonna take one of these. She can eat it at my parents' house quick before she goes to work. So it's white rice, cooked broccoli on one side on top of the rice, and on the other side I made like a shake and bake chicken. So there's like little pieces of shake and bake chicken, broccoli on white rice, perfect little meal on the go. I made it to pack in my future daughter-in-law's lunch too. So I have a couple of those little containers. They were really handy, so I thought I would share that. And this other thing I made, it's a dessert, but it is really, really good. So you take a small box of vanilla not yogurt, Jello. Jello? Yeah, Jello. And add a cup and a half of milk, whisk that together, let that sit for a minute or two, add a container of Cool Whip, and then take probably like 6 or 7 Granny Smith apples, leave the skin on, cut them up. I took, I think, like 12 Snickers bars and cut them up. Like, so the Granny Smith apples are like this big of bites. The Snickers are like that big too. You don't have to be perfect with this. So add all of those things together, put it in the fridge. It is so good. Like I said, it's a dessert. It's not like a meal. It's not, I mean, it's apple, so you're kind of getting a fruit with your candy, but it's really good. So those are a couple things that I made last night. Just give you some ideas. I always love to have new ideas. I told you I get stuck in ruts of making the same food, and so I like to have new ideas. So those were my things I made last night. So anyway, my cleaning tip, or I should say germ tip, trick, what I do. Okay, so when I'm in public, I avoid touching any surface in public at all costs, okay? I carry a pen, probably a couple pens in my purse right now, to be honest. And when I go into a restaurant and I have to sign the bill, or some stores, you know, you still have to like sign with a pen. I whip out my own pen so that I'm not touching the pen that all those other people have touched, okay? So I use my own pen, throw it in my purse, okay? So I have it all the time. I never touch railings, escalator railings, a railing going down the steps. I never touch them. Do you know how many people have touched them? Doorknobs. Okay, when I go to the doctor's office, I have a tissue on my hand, and I open at my office, you go through one door. So I touch that with my tissue. The next door, I have a tissue. I open it up, okay? So then I get in there, and you have to electronically sign that little computer thing. I have my tissue in my hand. I literally pick up the pen and sign it with that. I've had them like kind of laugh, not at me, but kind of like, oh yeah, in agreement. Like, yeah, it is totally germy in here. They know, right? So, and guess what? Again, I always say this. I don't care what people think. If I can avoid touching germs, touching what everyone else has touched, especially in a doctor's office where all it is germs, okay? And then when I go and we're waiting to be called in, I stand, okay? I do not sit in a doctor's office, because think about what is on those chairs. Everybody is there because they are sick. Well, not everybody. Sometimes you're there for a checkup. But there's so many people that are in there that are sick, okay? I'm not sitting down. When I go in the office, I'm with my kids, and they have to sit on the chair and get their vitals done, and then they have to get on the big bed thing. Not a bed, but you know what I mean, what they sit on. I stand, okay? They can't avoid the germs because they have to already sit on that thing to be checked out. I can avoid them. I stand the entire time. Okay, I was in there a couple weeks ago, and their nurse was like, well, you can sit. And I was like, that's okay. There's too many germs in here. I'm a germ freak. I can't stand it. And she looks at me kind of like smirks, whatever. I don't care. I can't. The doctor comes in. He's like, oh, you go ahead and sit. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I want to stand. And he remembered. He was like, oh, that's right. I remember you like to stand. But it's fine. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm avoiding germs, okay? So then I said about shaking my hand. Don't shake hands. Literally, I think it should be against the law to shake hands in public. I do not like to touch people in public, okay? My family is different. I do not want to touch someone's hand. Hands are the grossest thing, okay? I don't want to touch your hand. I don't want to shake your hand. I've had, you go to a car dealership, and for some reason they think you want to shake their hand, or they're going to win your business over, okay? And to me, I actually want to say to them, you know what? I literally don't want to buy a car from you now because you made me shake your hand. That is how crazy handshaking is to me. I've gone, you go, they stick their hand out to shake your hand. So I shake someone's hand. I instantly grab my hand sanitizer, clean up. I've had them go get their manager then because they want to talk to you seriously. They bring the next guy over, and instantly he sticks his hand out to shake it. And I'm like, I just cleaned it. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, my hand's all wet. Like I just used hand sanitizer. And he's like, that's okay, I don't mind. So now I have to rewash my hand, okay? I cannot stand it. I will literally put my keys and maybe my phone, stuff in my hands. When I know that I'm going to be in a situation where people want to shake my hand, I'll have my hands loaded up so that they don't ask. And inevitably, they still stick their hand out. So I have to switch things in my hands to shake their hand. I cannot stand it. I cannot stress you enough, like, what a huge pet peeve this is of mine. It is disgusting. Don't shake my hand. You're going to lose my business if you shake my hand, because I can't stand it. It doesn't make me want to give you business. It doesn't make me like you more. I'm actually grossed out. So please keep your hands to yourself. Okay, so those are a couple little of my avoiding germ tips in public. There are so many others. When you go in an elevator, I don't push the button with my hand. I have a tissue in my hand between me and that elevator button. I try to avoid every public surface. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. When I go to a restaurant, okay, I wipe the silverware off with a wipe. I don't do it right out so everyone can see it, because I know people think I'm a freak. I put my hands under the table. I have a wipe in my purse, and I clean the silverware off and then dry it with probably a tissue out of my pocket, or the napkin if it's not like one of those fabric napkins, those washable napkins that I hate. So here's why I wash my silverware. First of all, a lot of times if you look at the silverware, there's still food on it from the dishwasher. For some reason, they're still caked on crap. Oh my gosh, I almost can't even talk about this because it's grossing me out so bad. Plus, one time I went in a restaurant and the hostess is there and she has all this silverware, like a pile of silverware on her little workstation and a bunch of napkins, and she's seating people. But when she's not seating people or cashing them out, because this is a restaurant that you walk up and give the hostess your check, and she's touching your money and your credit card, okay, when she's not doing that stuff, she resumes her little folding the silverware in a napkin. So this is when this all hit me years ago. She's touching your money, your credit cards, whatever else, her phone, and then she's touching your silverware, wrapping it in those old napkins. Okay, so when I saw that, I got mad at that restaurant years ago, and I thought, oh, this is disgusting. So from then on, I wipe my silverware off with a wipe, because people have been touching that silverware. Oh my gosh, plus I even hate the thought of it. I think every restaurant should have disposable, like, plasticware that they just throw away, because when you actually think about silverware being used in other people's mouth and then you're using it, I don't care if it's in a dishwasher or not, it's almost making me too grossed out to eat out again now that I'm talking about it. But anyway, I even wipe that stuff off, okay? So I try to avoid all surfaces in public, touching them with my hands. And if I have to touch something, like I said, I carry my hand sanitizer and I'm coating my hands with hand sanitizer, because it's gross. People are gross. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you have a good day. Be kind and be clean. Bye-bye.